Alright, so this is our fantasy code. Alright, so this grabs all our DraftKings salary data here, and along with some fantasy points from this website here. Currently there's only week 2. Gives us position, week, salary, fantasy score, and their rank for that week based off their fantasy score. This brings some added stats: passing targets, rushing targets, receiving targets. This is from NFL.com. Alright, so this is what the table is going to look like. Gives us a player, gives us what our ranking for them would be based off of our value, which is basically the salary divided by the score, which gives us how much we're paying per point for their score there. So $351 per 1 point based on this salary. So that's our feed for that, and that's basically how our value system is going to work. Just for now, this is how I came up with some of the statistics for key values to look at. Down here, I came up with our target. As you can see, there's high correlation in this heat map between score, right here, score and target, as well as factor, OKR factor, and targets. And then they set the salary basically off of targets and how much they score anyway, so that's obvious correlation. Yep. So down here, what do we have? Right here we have a scatter plot that basically shows the number of attempts they have and how much they scored. As you can see, it takes quarterbacks a lot more attempts, obviously, for them to get points, whereas running backs, same sort of issue, but not as crazy as quarterbacks. Rushing attempts is how they get more points. There's less attempts for running backs equals less points for sure. Here you can see, whereas wide receivers, you can see they get their points on chunk plays, so they all kind of scatter around the middle between 10 and 15 points here. Running backs, higher, as many attempts as they get is as far as they go. There's only 2 tight ends that had enough points to make it to this list, as you can see right here. So tight ends are kind of hit and miss. Yeah, so this is kind of what I got so far. As you can see here, this is another table that shows points scored by our value system. Shows that, or what you're paying for them. It shows right here the defenses are obviously the highest clustered together here at the bottom. They have the lowest value per point based on what you're paying them. So yeah, not as important to pick a good one of those, whereas quarterbacks, you need to pick a really good quarterback. Yeah, you need to pay for a good quarterback is basically what this says. You need to pay for it. Same with wide receivers, you need to pay for those, looks like, whereas running backs, you need to just look for highest attempts and best value. Yeah, this is where we're at.